almost every season, winter comes around, and I have the same problem with these Trane units, with these fast scope motors. You can pause the video and look at the schematic. All right, let me see if I get a better shot at that. Okay, so that's the best I could do. That's the best I could do with that. So it's basically 2-speed. So right now you can see the motor is running loud and clear, and I'm not calling for any heat. Right? There's the heating board right here. I'm not calling for heat, okay? Because when you're calling for heat, that green light is flashing. It's pulsing. So if you know Trane, or these Trane, when you're calling for heat, that green light on the board is pulsing, okay? So there you are, the fan is running, right? Now, according to the schematic, this red wire and this purple wire is what bringing power all the time to the motor. And then if you connect the orange and the black, if those are shunted while red and purple is getting power, then that's supposed to be running on low speed. So apparently it's running on low speed right now because we're getting power through the red and the purple, but you can clearly see that the orange is disconnected. So let's go to the schematic real quick, and I'm gonna show you what I did to temporarily fix this. It's really annoying. Happens every time. This motor is fairly new too, because I replaced this at least 2 years back, two winters back. So here we go. So here's the motor. Okay, better view. Here's the motor, and you can see the red and the purple. So it's always connecting to the main 208 volts. Okay. Okay, so always connecting to 208 volts coming in. Now, if you want to go to low speed, even this little on the ignition board, it's a little tricky, but nonetheless, currently I have the orange wire, which is this wire right here, cut. I mean, you saw that earlier, it's cut. So right now the motor is only getting power through the red wire, and the purple wire as a normal state of just being powered up. Nothing should be happening. If I want to run this motor in low speed based on the drawing on the motor, which I did in the previous earlier in the video, you'll have to connect the black wire with the orange wire. You're shunting them together, and that's going to run into low speed, right? Meanwhile, the power is coming to red and purple. All right, but obviously that's not happening because, you know, I'm not calling for any heat. Initially, you'll start off on high fan, and then if you're only calling for first stage, it will start off on high fan based on the board. The board will automatically do that, and then it will come back down to the low speed. And then if you're calling for 2 stage of heat, then it will connect you know, the black wire, right? It will connect the black wire. It's connect the black wire to the line. It's going to close that and close that, and it's going to be high speed. Now, so the black and purple, that's high speed. Now it's a bit weird how Trane have this schematic here drawn, because, you know, they're saying this is low speed, so I'm assuming at all times, even though they're showing this normally open, it's going to be closed for low speed, and it's not like a relay. Even though they draw it in one, like you would imagine that a relay box, and, you know, this is open, and it's one relay says common, and maybe it's normally open, it's normally closed, you know, and you might thinking that, all right, so once this is closed, this is going to be closed. No. So what's going to happen this is closed all the time, and then if you're calling for a low speed, it's going to close this, and when it's closed, this because it says low right there. It says low right there too, so this is always closed, I'm assuming. Making sense of this thing, this is on the ignition board. So when you close this, now you're shunting orange and black. And that's going to, and meanwhile there's power always on red and purple. Now you're going to get low speed, right? So it looks like the motor is doing this by itself, closing orange and black on the inside, because you can see I have the orange disconnected, and you know it's still going. I mean, by itself, black, you know, can't do nothing because it's just running. It's just, you know, coming straight through. And I've checked the black with my meter, and you know, let me just do it for the camera, because somebody's going to say, yeah, it's a feedback. There's no feedback. As a matter of fact, let me just pull this wire right here, pull this red wire, so you can see now there's no power, because there's power coming through one line coming through purple, and this other line coming through the red. So now I broke it and the motor stopped. All right, let me just gonna pull this harness, and then we're gonna check voltage over there. Confirm. Purple and red. 208 volts. Confirmed. Okay, let's go to red or purple. Purple to ground. 120 as expected, and purple and red to ground. Another 120 as expected. Now let's go to black, because we already have the orange wire out of the equation, so I won't even waste time on that. Let's go to black, and we can see that's nothing. That's like 13 volts, 11 volts. There's nothing. And just for the heck of it, let's see the orange, even though it was disconnected, still 11. So nothing is coming from the main board. It's black, nothing, and orange, nothing. So it's strictly happening. So that shunt between orange and the black wire is happening inside of the motor. It's very weird. Nonetheless, I'm going to show you the temporary fix for that. So I gotta plug this back in right now. So the temporary fix is simply this: when we call for second stage of heating from the furnace, second stage heat is going on. So just to demonstrate real quick. Okay, that's acting wild, right? Anyways, so when we call for second stage of heating from the furnace, okay, when we call for second stage of heating from the furnace, I'm gonna have to secure this wire because there's voltage in that. It's going to send power to the black wire. So with that notion, and how I know this, let's revert back to the schematic real quick, and then I'm gonna show you the trick. So it's gonna take this line that's going to the red, which I currently have disconnected and cut. It's gonna take the same line because it's spliced, which is going to the board. It's gonna close that, and no. Obviously, it's gonna have to also close this too, right? So it's gonna close that and that, right? So this is gonna be all closed as well. So they're both gonna be closed, and then it's gonna send the wire over here, the black, right? So it's gonna be black, and it's gonna be purple, and that's gonna be running in high speed. And if you refer to the drawing on this, it will show similar. So simply, just for now, because I know I don't have any low speed, I simply connect W1 and W2 together, and let me show you what's going to happen when I turn on the heat. It's going to go quick little test right here. It's like I got a jumper between W1 and W2. See right here? I just put this wire here, and I put them together. So I'm just going to touch this on R and turn on the heat. So you can see how the board is pulsing when I'm calling for heat. So you know that earlier when you were seeing that thing running, I showed you the board, there was no pulse. So we know that it wasn't calling for heat. And obviously you hear the fan kicks on. And in a moment it's doing its purge right now, and it's gonna kick on, you know, high heat. And that's the temporary fix. So you know, no first stage, but just second stage. I'm waiting for that.